Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Cut the theme song a little bit short this week because I really want to get into what we got to talk about. I'm going to play a clip from good brother of mine in this truth, man, in this walk, the brother New Breed. Shout out to him and shout out to my brother Mark the Messenger for putting me up on this exact clip because I definitely faithfully try to watch all my brother's content, but he got to this one before me and was like, man, you got to check this one out, brother. Help me understand some things. So with that being said, we're going to go to a clip by my brother New Breed from 3 days ago. I'm just going to play the soundbite. And it's called, the name of the actual video, and I encourage you to go ahead and watch the whole thing, watch it in its entirety. But it's called More Exclusive Footage of the Takeoff Incident. Breakdown of the messy video. Like they went and took it frame by frame and broke it down, man, and it'd be mind-blowing if you take the time to check it out, and it will bless you. So I encourage you to do that, but I'm just going to play this little clip, and it goes along with, a lot of times you think something of yourself, but we can be at times we can give ourselves more importance than we probably should, and sometimes we give each other or give ourselves less importance than we probably should. But the Bible says value yourself at your true worth. And I felt immediately when I heard about this situation, immediately resonated with me to the point where I couldn't sleep. After I found it out, I got up at like 6 something in the morning. And when I saw that what had happened, I couldn't go back to sleep for a long time. I was just tossing and turning because I was thinking, that's the very popular quote called, "But for the grace of God, there go I." And it's like I could have been in situations, I've been in close calls where so that could have been me. And I was thinking that, but then to hear somebody else who I respect say something so similar, I had to share it. So check out what my brother Bree had to say on his broadcast called More Exclusive Footage of the Takeoff Incident, breakdown of the messy music video. Like I said, go check it out. I'll put the link in my description. But check out this little bite right here.
I actually have a friend that used to be in the industry, brother by the name of Woodrow. Y'all know him as Jaquad 410. And he happened to be that pure heart. And in his group, and the reason he left the industry was because, they were trying to feed off of his spiritual energy. I mean, all the way to the point where even when the brother got out, the group continued gaslighting him. Going on Breakfast Club, gaslighting the brother. Going on Unsung, gaslighting the brother, and trying to lure him back into that demonic industry because they need that attention. They need that energy coming from the brother who is awakening. You know what I'm saying? And that's what was going on with my brother Woodrow. And so that's what it seemed to be with the same thing with Takeoff. He was trying to wake up. He was trying to do his own thing. Whatever woman he was dealing with, she wasn't on the camera. She wasn't all out there, meaning he was probably trying to stay low key and protect his. And so it wouldn't be nobody on the table for sacrifice, because in that industry, there's always somebody on the table for sacrifice. And, maybe Takeoff was trying to avoid that. And when these things happen, Rollo made some good points. The industry pay attention to how you move because it's a fraternal.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to cut it off right there. But like I said, if you want to hear more, go ahead and tune in. I'm going to put the link in the description. And then I'm going to give you one more soundbite from my brother Breed. And then I'm going to get into a couple verses. And then I'm going to let y'all go so y'all can go watch these videos in their entirety. Because these brothers was teaching and talking, man. For real. Give me 1 second. Alright, this one right here is something that I wish it was social media back in the day, and I wish I would have heard these words back then, because it would have changed the whole trajectory of a lot of things, man. I'd have did a lot of things differently if I had known this. What they say, if I knew then what I know now. But this is the brother Bree speaking one more time, and this video is called Update in the High Profile Slaying of Rapper Takeoff. So this one was posted 4 hours ago today, so it's brand new. So hot off the presses. Go ahead and check it out if y'all haven't already. And I'm going to go ahead and let my brother Bree speak one more again.
You can't be innocent trying to blend with liars. What fellowship do light have with darkness is what the Bible say. You can't really be around people if you know you special. Because some of y'all know that you different. No matter how much you play dress up, no matter how much you hang out in these streets, no matter how much you position yourself around these people, you know you different. You knew it since you was a child. You knew since you was a child in elementary school that you were not like these people. But you keep being around them because you think it's a curse that you different. You think it's a curse that, you know, you can't quite fit in. And you'll do anything to fit in. You do anything to be amongst these people, to feel their acceptance and approval. Listen, you don't belong there. You are different. God himself chose you to be different. God, the Most High God, chose you to be that person that you knew you were when you was a child. That awkward little girl, that awkward young man, they call us awkward, but really the Bible calls us peculiar. Because when you have fellowship with darkness, they are able to snatch your soul. They want the blood of the innocent. It's getting to the point, even the honey traps are trying to line up righteous brothers at this point. They're done feasting on each other. They want to get those who have innocent blood because it tastes better. You cannot continue to put yourself in places where you know you're not comfortable at. You cannot line yourself up with these individuals who have evil intentions. You can't line yourself up with these people, even if it's your own family. Even if it's your day ones, your friends you grew up with. This is spiritual warfare. We battle not against principalities, but we battle against wickedness. We battle not against flesh and blood, but we battle against wickedness and principalities in high places. We're dealing with spiritual warfare. A lot of these people are demonically possessed, and you cannot be around it because God chose you to be different. You cannot fit in with these people. They will kill you.
Straight like that. Thank you, Brother Breed, man. I needed to hear them. Like I said, I commented under, was like, man, I needed to hear that. A lot of times I like to share whatever video, whatever information I come across with all my loved ones. But that right there was something that I personally needed to hear. And I'm sharing it for anybody else who might be along those same lines or might feel about that same way. And with that being said, just to back up what the brother was saying, check out these scriptures right here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verses 1 through 4. And this is something that I feel like the Most High revealed to me. Like as soon as I started coming into the truth and really start studying his word, once I prayed for understanding, like this is one of the first things that he revealed to me. I'm going to read it to you out of the King James Version. Then we probably go and grab it from the New Living Translation just to be clear on it. This is Isaiah 49, 1 through 4. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. Yah have called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother have he made mention of my name. And to back that up real quick, let's go to Exodus chapter 13, verses 1 and 2. It says, and Yah spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, sanctify unto me all the firstborn. I'm my mama and daddy's firstborn. Just not a coincidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence with the Most High. Whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and beast, it is mine. So go back to Isaiah 49 and 1. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. Yah have called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother have he made mention of my name. Verse 2, and have made my mouth like a sharp sword. I know when I get into arguments, like a lot of people who know me in real life know me as a quiet person. And I'm quiet for a reason. Like people don't know that. But until they things go awry, or sometimes, just certain circumstances bring out different parts of our character. But I've been into it with people, and they would always say, "Your words, brother, they cut like a knife. Oh, your words, they sting, they sting." And that's one of the reasons why I do my best to be quiet. It's not just because, like, I do have a personality where as though I'm more observant, and I like to look more than I speak, observe more than I speak. But a lot of times I be having stuff to say, but I know what I had to say probably shut the party down, or probably make the atmosphere different. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes for a good way and sometimes in a bad way. And if I know it's going to be in a bad way, I try to keep it to myself. But some people will provoke you until you say what it is you say, and then they will cry victim. "Oh, you ain't had to say that." I remember a friend of mine, and was speaking to somebody special to me, and they was like, "Oh, you gotta watch Wood, because you could just be playing with him, and you could just say something to him playing, and he go say something real messed up, something make you want to hurt yourself or stuff like that. You gotta watch him." My thing is, leave me alone. I wasn't saying nothing. I don't be saying nothing. I be chilling, and I do my best to chill and not say anything, because I know the effect and the weight of my words. You see what I'm saying? So it's not always when somebody, and it's just not just me, there's a lot of situations where somebody's quiet, somebody's smiling, somebody's being nice. Sometimes it behooves us to allow the person to stay nice, allow the person to stay quiet. Don't go poking at the bear. And then when the bear growl back, or when the bear take a swipe, then the bear is the bad one. You see what I'm saying? Leave people alone. I'm very big on that. Even me. I grew up in a family where we always crack jokes, where we always play with each other and play with people. I mean, I'm not a person who's ashamed to tell it. I tell my stories, even the ones that make me not come out on top, or the ones where it might be embarrassing to me. I'll tell y'all this real quick. And I wasn't even planning on talking about this. I was in high school, and there was a guy who worked. He was a student, but he also had a job where as though he worked at night and then he came to school in the daytime. So when lunchtime came, he was sleepy. So he would come in the cafeteria, everybody else eating, laughing, joking, doing whatever everybody does in the cafeteria, passing notes and food fighting, whatever. And he would take that time to sleep. So one day, I just thought it would be funny and fun to mess with him. So like, I stick a little piece of paper, like I tore a little piece of notebook paper, twisted it up real small, and I stuck it in his ear. Make him think like it was a bug or something crawling on him. And like, he jumped up, and this guy, because he was so sleepy, he was moving in slow motion. So he smacked himself. I thought that was so funny. And when he smacked himself, he said, "Chill, yo." So left him alone for a couple minutes. He took a couple more bites off my food in the midst of me getting made fun of for my geeky ways. I found time to go and stick the piece of paper back in his ear again. He jumped up again, did the same thing. Smack. Chill, chill. Just a little bit louder. I'm like, all right. You'll think I learned from that. But it was funny to me, so I just kept going. One more time. Sitting there about 5 minutes later. Twist the paper up again. Put it there. This time, it wasn't no chill, yo. This man jumped up at top-notch speed like he was woke the whole time. Grabbed little me up. Boom! Threw me into the soda machine. Country Time Lemonade. I'll never forget when it was, because I went into it. The Country Time Lemonade machine. And was like jagging me up, like how they used to do the nerds and stuff on the, like how Homer used to grab Bart Simpson up. Was grabbing me up like that. Up against the wall, like, "Yo, my tongue stop playing." And then the thing about it, here come one of the lunch aides. So I'm thinking, not always wasn't always just the most squeaky clean, innocent guy. I'm thinking like, all right, she about to get him for grabbing me up like that. Even though I know I was wrong, but I'm like, she gonna get him because he's the one being aggressive and grabbing me up. But guess what? She saw the whole thing. So guess what she did after when she saw it? She said, "Put him down." And I'm sitting there like, "Yeah, boy, put me down. What's wrong with you, man? Grab me up. What's wrong with you? Fix my clothes." And she said, "You go to the office." I'm like, "Oh." I said, you ain't see him grab me? She said, go to the office. She saw the whole thing. And it was nobody's fault but mine. You know, I'm standing there the whole time taking that walk of shame to the office thinking what my mama going to do to me if she find out that I got in trouble in school because my mom was a teacher and she ain't played none of that, none of goofing off in school. So I'm thinking what's going to happen to me. But all praise to the Most High, the principal had mercy on me. I gave up my whole spiel. I told her, I said, look, just being in his office, I said, I watched Scared Straight on TV, the original Scared Straight. Watch that if y'all can find it. But I said, I seen Scared Straight, and I feel like I am scared straight just by being in this office. I've never been in this predicament like this. And she just found that funny for whatever reason. She just bust out laughing. I guess the Most High just touched her heart and made her have mercy on me. She said, boy, go ahead back down in that cafeteria and behave yourself. And that's all it took for me. But some people, it take that shaking. Somebody can tell them chill, and leave me alone. But then when the person reacts, everybody look at that person like they was the one in the wrong. So I got justice that day and I learned from it. So that being said, let's get back into these verses. This is Isaiah 49 verse 2. Back to what we were saying. And have made my mouth like a sharp sword. And that is very true. And in the shadow of his hand have he hid me. When the Most High hide you, it's not really wise to keep trying to peek out, trying to be seen like, hey, y'all, I'm over here. The Most High is hiding you for a reason. And I had to learn that too. Shout out, I'm not a big fan of Tyler Perry's movies and his art and stuff like that, but he did a video that's on YouTube. If you have a chance to check it out, it's called God May Be Hiding You on Purpose. And it's like sometimes when you know you have a gift, you know you have a talent, you know you have something special, and you want everybody to see you. You want everybody to know what you have. You want to show off what you can do, but sometimes the Most High is hiding you on purpose. And I also experienced that because when it came time that I did ask to be relieved of my duties and out of my old job, the people in charge didn't know what I was capable of. They didn't know what I brought to the table because it was always suppressed. It was always pushed to the back, or somebody else would take credit for it. So they didn't know. So when I asked to be let go, they let me go. You know, whereas though if I had been up the front and it would have been evident of what I was bringing to the table, I might not have been able to get let go. You know, so everything happened for a reason. So like I said, like the scripture said, he have hid me and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver have he hid me. Verse 3, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Not you will be glorified. Not you gonna be the man. You gonna get out there and everybody gonna love you, and everybody gonna say you a dope writer. Everybody gonna say you a great singer and all that. No, that's not what he promised. He said, in whom I will be glorified. In this verse 4, then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught or nothing, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with Yah, and my work with my Elohim, or my mighty one. Now let's get that out of the New Living Translation so we can make sure that everybody understands. I'm sorry this one's going to be a little longer than the last couple ones, so if you got to watch it in portions or you got to break it down and watch it, then do so. But I guarantee you it's going to be worth it because we talking about something today. This is Isaiah 49, verses 1 through 4 in the New Living Translation. Listen to me, all you distant lands. Pay attention, you who are far away. Yah, the Lord, called me before my birth. From within the womb he called me by name, and made my words of judgment as sharp as a sword. He has hidden me in the shadow of his hand, and I am sharp, like a sharp arrow in his quiver. He said to me, you are my servant, Israel, and you will bring me glory. Verse 4, I replied, but my work seemed so useless. My work did seem useless. Like everything I did, like I was just overlooked, ignored, or you get your ass to the back. And ass is in the scripture, so don't say, oh, you cussing and you got the Bible in your hand. It's not a cuss word, it's a donkey. Or it could be the rear of something. We could look it up. But anyway, let's not get into that. We got a whole nother, shout out to Pastor Dow. He did a whole series and a whole video on cursing versus cussing. But we haven't had that problem here, so we ain't even gonna make no problems where it ain't no problems. But Let's get back into these verses. Verse 3, once again. He said to me, you are my servant, Israel. You will bring me glory. Not bring you glory, but you will bring me glory. Bring him glory. The Most High. I replied, verse 4, but my work seems so useless. I have spent my strength for nothing and to no purpose. And that's how I felt. Like, man, shoot, I never got compensated properly for the work that I did. Never got looked at any kind of way. A lot of times people would just look right past me, and that's what makes me relate so much to the brother Takeoff. You know, like a lot of people always said from day one that, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a fan of Migos, and I'll tell y'all why real quick. Like I was in a hack, and if you're not from Baltimore, a hack is like basically like a cab, but they don't have any like organization behind them. Like anybody could be a hack if you got a car and you willing to drive around, like basically like a Uber or Lyft driver, but before there was Uber and Lyft, you could just drive around and pick people up, and it's like a little hand signal that everybody does. And I still don't think I did it right, but I guess I did it good enough that he know I needed a ride. I was late for work one day, and I don't drive, and that's been a subject of, you know, I honestly me on bus stops. If you know what I'm saying, be on social media or whatever, people took it upon themselves to take a picture of me on the bus stop or whatever. It was like, oh, this is sad Facebook, but whatever. That's another story for another day. But I've never driven, never had a license. I had a permit. But anyway, I was on the bus stop. This was like years ago. This was probably like 2013, 14, whenever the No Label mixtape came out. I was on the bus stop, and the bus wasn't coming, so I signaled a hack. And the hack was, like I said, they could be anybody. They ain't have no thing like Uber and Lyft where as though you can report bad behavior or bad driving or nothing like that. This is a random person, you know? And you don't answer to nobody, you just give me a ride. So this guy, when I got in the car, and once we hit the highway, I was right in front of the Baltimore Arena. Once we hit the highway, this person started driving like we was on the Indy 500. He just whipping them curves and just zooming. He wasn't slowing down or nothing to make turns, anything. And we was on the highway, just around the loops and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I was nervous. But at the same time, I didn't want to be late for work. I'm very dedicated with that. Like, I want to be the best work I could be. I don't want anybody to be able to say anything, you know, bad about my work or anything. So we was getting there. So in my mind, I'm wrestling. I'm like, should I tell this man to slow down, or should I just let him do what he do and just get to work? So my decision at the time, I said, I'm just gonna shut my eyes. And what so happened to be playing in the car, he was playing the Migos No Label CD. So I focused on that, so that I wouldn't focus on all these twists and turns we was taking and how I was getting tossed around in the back seat of that car for real. And I was like, yo, this is catchy. And I found myself singing it. And next thing I know, when I got to my work, I had my laptop with me, and I ended up finding the CD. I Googled some of the words that they were saying, because I didn't even know who it was. And I ain't ask him nothing. I want him to focus on driving. I didn't want him to turn around to look at me, to respond to me at any question I asked him. I just wanted him to drive. So I just Googled some of the words they were saying and found out that it was Migos, found out thatpiff.com back in those days. And I downloaded it, and it became some of my favorite music at the time. Like, I used to sing, I used to use it for quotes underneath of my pictures on IG. Please do not try to run game on me. I'm not a PlayStation. Please do not try to run game on me. I'm not a 360. Man, that was my jam. But anyway, I was a fan of Migos. Never had a favorite member. You know how some groups, everybody got their favorite member. This person stand out, that person stand out. I just liked them as a group. But a lot of people have said that Takeoff was the best lyricist. But as far as like his personality, he was always laid back. He was always to the back. I seen some interviews, and when he would go to talk, one of the more louder ones, one of the more in-your-face members would always cut him off in the middle of the sentence. He's sitting there like that, and he just resonated with me. I was like, yo, that's me. That's me. That's the same way. And it got to the point where I just wouldn't say nothing. If somebody asked me, I would say something, but I was so used to every time I went to say something, somebody else just jumping in and being more charismatic or being more of the, you know, whatever that the public approved of or whatever like that, and just getting, you know, like shut down. So I just wouldn't, and I just let my work speak for me. But, you know, like all the time, people will gravitate to, a lot of times people gravitate to people by personality, and the personality that I had was not the personality or not the style or not the whatever look, whatever it was that I didn't gravitate. But the people inside the program knew what time it was, knew what I was bringing to the table. But if you were from the outside looking in, I remember I saw an article one time and it was like the most useless members of any group, and it's like they had my name listed in that, and I'm like, who would want to be a part of any outfit, whereas though that's the way that everybody feels about you, which is why it's mind blowing now that once I decided to remove myself, then a lot of people will comment and say, "Oh, where's Woody? Where's this? Where's that? Why is Woody not here?" Stuff like that. When the whole time that I was there, nobody wasn't really paying me no mind. Nobody was checking for me, and if they were, they didn't make it known. Like I would come out on stage. We would come out on stage one by one, and I would come out first, and the applause that I would get would be like the equivalent to when they cut the lights off at the movies. Like you clapping because you know the movie get ready to start soon, but you don't clap like you clap when you see your favorite actor go across the screen or whatever like that. It don't work like that. So but then once you leave and people see the difference that when you're not there, I guess that's what it is. And like once they see the difference, like I heard a pastor say one time, being a custodian is a thankless job. It's like as long as you keep the building spotless, nobody don't really praise a custodian. But let the building not be spotless. Let you not come to work that day, or let you not do your job that you normally do. Then everybody's gonna ask, where in the world is the janitor? So it's like when people see what you don't do, and that's when they miss you. That's when they inquire, where are you, or why you not doing what it was that you were doing. So I chalked it up to that. But let's get back into these scriptures, man. I'm sorry for rambling, but this right here is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, because there have been times where as though the same fate that befell the brother Takeoff could have befallen me. Like it was more than one shootout that happened during the time that I was in the group. The first one was at it was an event for artists called How Can I Be Down. It's like a seminar. I don't know if it's a seminar. I don't know what you would call it, but it's like a lot of different performances take place. A lot of like seminars where people talk about the industry and stuff like that, and parties and stuff like that. And me and one of the members of the group had went to that, and there ended up being a shootout inside. And like me and this member was standing by the bar, and it's like we were so frozen with fear, or just I don't even know if it didn't feel like fear. It just felt like awe and amazement. We've never been at nothing like this, and we looking at each other like, yo, it's bottles busting right behind your head, yo. And he turned back around, yo, I just seen one bust behind your head. And the bullets is like whizzing past us on both sides up. But all praise to the Most High, none of them touched us. And then there was a brother by the name of Sean T, who I later on, like reconnected with, and we hung out, brought me to his city, and had me to come sing at a church when I was doing my gospel project. But he was a bigger guy, and at that time I was skinny. I was probably like 140, and the other member that was with me probably like 135, something like that. We was little guys when this first started, and he picked both of us up and threw one on one shoulder, one over the other shoulder, and ran out of the venue with us over his shoulders. That was one event. And then there was the event that, of course, that everybody knows about, whereas though the we were over in Paris and the shooting broke out, and that was the time where as though I felt like, hey, this was because the Most High already told me to come on out of here. And I'm being hard-headed, so that was a wake-up call for me, and that's when I actually left. But this other shooting was like 2 years before that, and this was more up close and personal. The other shooting, we just looking, we sitting in the car, and we see what's happening. This was really in the thick of it, but during that time, this is when the group first started, like for the first months of the group being signed. And I'm like, man, I might still get a chance to do my thing and show everybody what I could do. So, but by the time the second one happened, this was around second album, I already knew everything was already etched in stone. Who was this role and this role, all the roles was already defined. So I knew that it was no, it's like you work at a company, and it's like a dead end company, and you know that your job, you're not gonna get no promotion, not gonna give it so many raises. So it's no real use. Like, it's not worth my life. Like, it's cool to stay here, cool to get checked. But when it come life threatening, now it's time to go. That was that time. But there was one in between that for the movie How to Be a Player. We went to the screening of it, and it was in New York. I can't think of the name of the theater. I don't even know which part of New York we was in, but the screening was there, and there was some celebrities there. And because we had a song on the soundtrack, we were there too. And I just got a real bad feeling, yo. I got a real terrible feeling while I was sitting in the theater, and for some reason, I was just like, yo, I'm ready to go. Y'all can stay here, but I'm ready to go. And they followed me and was like, yo, if you don't want to go, if you don't want to be here, we don't want to be here either. I can't remember if this was before or after Biggie Smalls passing, because I know when the night Biggie Smalls passed, we were supposed to go to that party too. And because we met him the night before. And we were supposed to go to that party right after the Soul Train Music Awards. And I had a bad feeling that night. I was like, nah, yo, I'm not feeling it. And we didn't go. They was like, well, you don't want to go, we ain't going either. And I think the movie incident was right after that, because they was like, hey, you was right about the Biggie Smalls thing. So if you ain't going, you ain't feeling it, we ain't feeling it either. But there's a scripture that says, surely the Most High will do nothing unless except he reveal his secrets to his servants, the prophets. And I don't want nobody to think, oh, he think he's some great man, he think he's some great, whatever. But prophet is not necessarily any man any different from anybody else, but it's just a person who listens. Like I said, I seen a meme the other day, I saw a meme the other day that said the Holy Spirit will warn you. It's up to you to listen. So it's like he reveals things to all of us, but we just got to give it that quietness. We got to give it that time to actually listen to it. And a lot of times what it says is the opposite of what we want to do. So that's what makes it hard to listen. But I promise a lot of y'all, if y'all would just be still and quiet, he'll witness to you too. And a prophet is just a person who says things before they happen. It's not no secret agent man, nothing like that. It's just a person who listens to the Most High and governs themselves accordingly. Some of you might be a prophet, tuning in, watching. And then also he gives all of us different gifts. Some people might be healers, some people might be prophets, some people might be, you might got the gift of song, you might got the gift that you're a warrior when it comes down to get down. And all of it's important. None of us can diminish the gift of another. Because like it says in the scripture, like it's all a body. It's like the hand can't say to the eye, because you don't do work and grip and pick things up, that you're not part of the body. And the eye can't say to the hand, because you don't see, you're not part of the body. So we are part of the body. It's about recognizing which gift the Most High gave you and getting it where it fit in and using it where it's supposed to be used. But let me get back to what it was saying about being, like when you don't fit in, when you not from early that you don't fit in. It's like the Most High didn't make you to fit in. And it's like where you don't fit in, with one of my favorite memes, go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. So it's like if you're not fitting in somewhere, maybe that's the Most High take that. Then maybe that's the Most High letting you know that's not somewhere where you should be. Go somewhere where you are celebrated. Go somewhere where what you are doing is allowed to make a difference and is making a difference in lives, Because if you stick around too long where you're not supposed to be at, same thing might happen to you that happened to the brother Takeoff. I know personally that the same thing could have happened to me that happened to the brother Takeoff. And that is a very humbling and a very unsettling thought, for real, because it's like you feel like like me, I could sit back and recount the times where as though point them out when it could have happened, and all because of me trying to make something that wasn't. Like the brother Breed says, like you try to make yourself fit in. You feel like it's a bad thing. You feel like it's a curse or something that you don't fit in, that you're not cool like these guys, or that you're not cool like these particular young ladies or whatever. And you try to go out your way to make yourself, like you start dressing like these people, you start acting like them. I remember it was a guy that I used to hang with, cool guy, but he talked like the way my mom taught me to talk and speak. Very, like she used to get on me. I had to actually make a deal with her to let me speak the way that I speak now, because she was like, don't say ain't, because ain't right. She was a teacher, and anything that I would say, I say ain't. She said isn't. And any slang I would use, she would like jump in and correct me. So I made a deal with her. I was like, check this out. If I make 100 or close to it in English this semester, can I speak the way I want to speak when I'm at home? And she allowed, and I made a 98.6 in English that semester. That was close enough, so she allowed me to, and I took it over the deep end because I started hanging out with dudes that probably didn't go to school or didn't pay attention to school, and they would speak like really, really, really bad English. And like, I mean, well, we know now English is a bastardized language anyway, but back then I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, he was just speak like he didn't know anything, and all the girls would laugh. All the girls would love this guy, so I would try to speak the same way, and it never worked because you could tell that I wasn't being myself. You could tell that I was doing this because this guy was doing it, or I would do this because this guy did it. I would walk around trying to make certain facial expressions and stuff like that because I saw somebody else do it, and it worked for them. I would wish I was a different height. I would wish I was a different, like weight or complexion or anything like that because I saw it working for somebody else. But what I learned way later is that only you being you is what's gonna attract people to you. Because if not, you just making them like whoever the other person is that you imitating or that you trying to be like. So be who the Most High made you to be. We are fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. So however you came out, that's how you supposed to be. And when you learn that and you learn to work that way He made for you, not saying don't diet, don't exercise, don't try to be the best you that you could be. But when it's you trying to be somebody else, or when it's you trying to fit in the circumstances and situations that He didn't make you to go into, it's never going to work out. Let me read this and then we going to let it go because it's long. I'm sorry, y'all. But if y'all hung with me through all this and made it this long, then I love y'all. I love you if you only clicked on it and turned on. I love you if you didn't click on it, but I love you if you hung with me through this whole thing. But check this out. This is Sirach Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verses 20 through 22. And I'm going to just go straight to the Good News Translation. Self-confidence. Take advantage of opportunities, but guard yourself against evil. Don't underrate yourself. Verse 21. Humility deserves honor and respect. It's great to be humble, but a low opinion of yourself leads to sin. When you don't love yourself, you'll do anything to fit in. You'll do anything to be cool. And sometimes that being cool will cost you your life, for real. Do not let others have their way at your expense. King James Version said, accept no person against your soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause you to fall. Don't put no other man up on no pedestal to the point it cause you to fall. Common English Bible says, don't show partiality to your own hurt, and don't show respect to your own downfall. Don't be so worried about someone else's plans, hopes, opinions, visions for your life that it caused you to fall off and miss the mark of what the Most High had planned for you to be, And that's what that reminded me of. This was a sure enough wake up call for me, and I just wanted to wake everybody else up. And this is one more verse, Proverbs 24:1. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. That's any crew, any camp, anybody that go against your spirit. Contemporary English Version. Don't be jealous of crooks or want to be their friends. International Standard Version. Don't be envious of wicked men or wish you were with them. Somebody don't want you part of their crew. Don't try to beg and follow behind them and chase behind them and begging and pleading. Are you crazy? Last one for real this time. Sirach Ecclesiasticus 9:11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Good News Translation. Don't be jealous of a sinner's success. You don't know what kind of disaster is in store for him. And if you're in the way, it might hit you and not the one that it was supposed to hit or should have hit. I'm not saying that anybody should be hit, but you just might interpret somebody else. You might just catch the flack for somebody else. Proverbs 10:2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. Contemporary English Version. What you gain by doing evil won't help you at all, but obeying Elohim is the only way to be saved from death. So with that being said, follow the Most High, love who He has made you to be. Stop trying to be anybody else. Stop trying to be accepted by everybody else. Stop trying to fit in every circle, because sometimes what they say rejection is sometimes the Most High's protection. So when you're not accepted somewhere, let that be a sign. What it say? If you say shalom and if the peace don't rest on you, get out of there. Don't try to make it work. Don't try to make yourself fit in. Don't try to make yourself more useful or hope that stick around and hope that in time everybody will realize and recognize your value. That's your cue to get out of there for real. And in doing so, you might save your life. And I learned that from the brother Takeoff. May he rest in peace. And may justice be found and whoever was responsible get, what they supposed to get. But that's all I got to say on it. I know I was long today. Apologize. Appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me. Much love. Shalom, shalom to everybody. I'm out of here. Shout out again to my brother Bree. Shout out to my brother Mark the Messenger for bringing that particular video to my attention. Love each and every one of y'all. And most high willing, we'll be back again next week. And next week probably won't be this long. We're going to get back to our regular short videos. But yeah, man. This one had to be a little long. I had to go in and probably still didn't say all I wanted to say, but I'm pretty sure we said enough, and we gonna get them verses up on the screen so everybody can see what time it is. Much love, y'all. I'm out of here.